Guys and dolls, so I need to talk softly. I have no mic. I might put it on the CapCut and turn the volume up on the video itself. So my apologies. Um, yeah, so Saturday, live the night. Looking forward to it. Quite a lot to talk about, I think, to be honest with you. It's all a bit nuts right now, I think. You know, it's the way I see things, guys. It's like I am like saying that reform is a new labour, and I'm not just doing it because, like I say, I'm hating or got an axe to grind or like I'm obsessed. You know, I'm trying to let people know what's coming. You know what I mean? So, I just feel this is what I feel like right now. Um, I feel like Nigel Farage and Reform have got this full support of the establishment, whatever you want to call the establishment, or whatever you think the establishment is, or the big deep state, or whatever, right? Um, not really comfortable anymore, to be honest with you, doing these videos about reform, um, just with what I'm seeing. But it is what it is, you know. Just going to be honest, you know what I mean? It's just my opinion of, educational purposes and entertainment and all that. And it's just my opinions. That's all, of what I see through the eyes of my eyes, just of what I've went through. You know what I mean? So, don't shoot the messenger. But yeah, there's a lot happening. I'm noticing like a big influx of reform tweets going out. Quite a lot of bots. They look good. They look right. You just gotta look. But I think once you recognize a bot, this is the thing, right? Once you recognize a bot, it stands out. You know what I mean? Even though it stands out, you're never sure. You've still got to go up a wee bit further. You know what I mean? Um, sort of to give you an idea, a bot will have flags behind its name. Sometimes the names are quite short for some reason, but they will change that as we move forward. Remember, the bots are bots. They're this is their world. We're in their world. You've got to understand that. It's a really dangerous time for us, so it is, because please believe me, there's there's going to be videos dropping, so there will be, and they're going to be fake, 110%. You know, and they're going to look so convincing, and people are going to be so shocked by it, and they're just people are going to share them. I could be one of them people. I don't know. You know what I mean? But stuff like that's going to be happening. So it will, but it will just be for the right. You know, and it will be orchestrated by the left and the establishment, and it'll be like a bait. It will be bait, and then once everybody gets on it, this misinformation, false information, or whatever, or maybe one, two, maybe five or six of these wee things together will be brought together and used against the internet and freedom of speech. That's what I truly think is going to happen. They have to shut down us, so they do, for Nigel Farage to win this. Um, the only hope they have is by shutting us down. So we need to understand that what's coming, because then we can go out onto the streets, shopping centres, outside football stadiums, and tell people exactly what's happening. It's they can't stop you doing that. You know, that'll be the only option we have. And I know it sounds a wee bit nuts and a wee bit dramatic and all the rest of it, like, but that will be the only way of getting the word out. They're trying to. The pubs are declining. You can see everything the attack on the pubs. It's all the stop is communicating. They're wanting to single everybody out, put everybody in their houses, make everything continue in your house. So you're just ordering online. You're never going out. Everything's coming to you. Everything that you want comes to you, and you rely on the internet because they know that's where it's all going. They know people are coming off TV, and people will just have the internet on their TV. And the days of BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, Channel 4, Channel 5, they're all gone. They are gone. They will go with the last of the Generation X. The 70s and the 80-year-olds right now. That will just decline. That section that watch mainstream media will just get smaller and smaller and smaller. And the establishment know this. They know this. They know exactly what's coming. They're really intelligent, So you've got to understand the future is the internet. The future is social media. The future is people like me, content creators, people having their own people that they go to. They get their information in a way that they like, in a way that they understand. There's so much variables and so much choice. It's on another level. So just like they controlled our mainstream media, you know, you can. I don't need to say anymore. I don't want. Got to be careful. You know what I'm saying. Exactly what's going on here. Okay, and so once they've got social media, you know, once they start targeting social media, they will clean house. They will clean house. They want a social media that will be saying exactly what they want to be said. They want to get into the minds of people that are sitting in the house on their own, you know, and reassure you that everything's going to be okay, you know, and reform's the way to go. Um, the damage that Labour has done is irreversible to themselves, okay? And that was something that they tried that didn't work. Now, these aren't the kind of guys that go, oh no, it didn't work with Labour, everybody's turned against them. The game's a bogey. They're not that kind. There's always a plan A, plan B. They're always thinking about the next move, you know, even when the first move's still doing okay, you know. So that's the way these guys operate with 110%. Like I say, they've had hundreds of years of experience. It all gets passed down, you know. Um, Quite a lot of my subscribers go on about it, you know, and talk about it, you know. As you see with Paul O'Neill, you know, that's what drives him, and that's why he gets so upset with people because he thinks that we're only focused on certain people. You know, like we're looking for heroes and stuff, and he's trying to tell us that you can help yourselves, and he's wanting me to concentrate and saying other things, and I totally understand that. There's loads of yous like that. Paul, he's just vocal. He's just game enough to come on and let me know. You know what I mean? Which is, you know, and a lot of it doesn't go down well with a lot of people, but that's what it's all about. It doesn't go down well with you. You got to look inside, guys. Okay, you've got to look inside. There's always a reason somebody's behaving in a certain way, and it's not always as bad as you think. You know, some people are just frustrated at what they see and how people can't see what's right in front of them. Okay, and you know, yeah, we're at the minute we've got an explosion of random messages coming up on TikTok about how good reform are, you know, and it's some of them are short. There is people there because obviously reform are saying we need to market, you know, business the business. So they're marketing the business, you know what I mean? And so obviously the inners, this is what one part of what the DNA, what the non-disclosure form was, you know, the inner workings of reform will be working like mad here to go against what everybody else is saying. You know, I mean, they're trying, you know, and it is a really dangerous time, and I'm really, really worried. So I am. I'm really worried, guys. But like I say, we're on X. Anything ever happens, we'll all be on X, and we can regroup. And I imagine what will happen is Elon Musk will start up a new YouTube, you know, and then what will happen then, slowly but surely, people will leave YouTube, and YouTube will lose millions, you know, because once the Patriots of Britain go, the Patriots of American will go, they'll go with Elon Musk, you know what I mean? So that's millions and millions and millions and billions and maybe trillions of revenue that a business is going to lose. So, you know, this is what it's all about. You know what I mean? This is the politics of it all. It's arms and legs that reaches out in so many ways, guys, and it's really interesting. And when you say you don't know nothing about politics, you do. You're living it. You live and breathe politics. If you say you don't know anything about social policies, you do. You live and breathe social policies every day of your life. You know, if you've had children, if you've had a family, if you've worked, if you've paid taxes, social policies, guys. If you've had housing benefit, if you're living in a council area, you know, if you bought a house, if you're in the housing market, you know what I mean. Social policies, guys. Mental health, social policies. It's that simple. It's your life. The government and politics is your life. It's not complicated. You don't need to go to college. You know, you really don't. That's something that's put out there to stop us getting into politics. They baffle us with big words, and you've got to go and do all these years in university. No, you don't. No, you don't. We now know that. We now know that. And they know that we know that now. And they're worried. And this is why Reform's being set up as a new party. They are pulling the wool over the Patriots' eyes. It's classic. It is if you look back in history in 100 years' time, it'll just look like classic fucking intelligence from a government. How to infiltrate, how to keep going in the right direction. How to. It's probably been done in many countries around the world already. There's no two ways about it. Um, and then like just if he's ever in any doubt, please believe me, Nigel Farage and Lee Anderson would not be on GB News. Simple as that. Politicians do get bits on TV, but it's normally after they've been politicians. You know what I mean? I've never seen politicians who are fighting like coming up. You know what I mean? A growing political party, any growing political party ever in my life, anywhere getting a slot on mainstream media. It's just remarkable, and I don't understand how people aren't going, what? You know what I mean? Nigel Farage has got his own slot, you know what I mean? If that doesn't have the establishment written all over it, what does, you know what I mean? He's their man. He's their next, this is the next Labour. This is who they want, you know? This is who they want, and this is who we're going to get if we're not careful. But, everybody does their own. You know what I mean? I'm not telling everybody, like I say, in the last couple of weeks, what I've seen has just blown me away. I've tried to be very respectful and very decent, you know what I mean, and always be a good person. And that also includes not like slating people or putting people off voting for a political party, because that's quite a major thing, I think, you know what I mean? But obviously, with what you can see, I wouldn't, you wouldn't tune into me if I was just here and still say to you, like, oh, well, you know, I'm not going to tell you not to vote for reform or either way when I can see what's going on, and the things, the WhatsApp stuff and all. It's just quite remarkable. I just can't find any way at all to let my friends know that reform is a good choice right now, and that's just like who I am. If I'm not going to tell anybody who to vote for, but if I think there's something wrong, I'm going to say to you, like, um, so where does that leave? Like, because I used to always say if you get rid of Nigel Farage, and you know what I mean, we're good to go. You know what I mean? Because I just thought my way with Nigel, as you know, was I was concerned about the GB News thing. That's like was niggling away at the back of my head, and then I was concerned about what I was seeing, the way the man was acting. You know, um, and it was because it was an act. It was every time the camera turned on. I've seen clippets where you see the real man, and then he comes in the camera, and you see the act, and it's quite remarkable change. And people around him must see that, and that would be really weird. And I know, I get it. You have to put an act on, but not really in politics. Not really in politics, guys. This isn't a drama. This isn't a docu soap. This is real life. So I don't really agree with like putting an act on. I want to see a politician being real. That's the first thing you're looking for. You're looking for the genuine in the eyes. You're looking for him talking from his heart and not reading from a bit of paper. That's the first thing a human person would look for in a leader, you know. And I just don't see them qualities, and that's why I was bringing my rhetoric of Nigel, just has a human my way of looking at things, and always said that, you know what I mean. But now it's different. Now there's like loads of evidence that really concern me. Are we lucky? Obviously, because I'm not looking at reform doing much damage. Okay, you got to understand that as well. When I say reform of the new Labour, um, Eddie Cool, wakey. I've been up for an hour. um, yeah, well, half an hour. Um, what was I saying, man? Sorry, guys. Sorry, Eddie. No, guys. It's like reform. Like I'm going to be very conservative here. that's quite that's quite fitting, isn't it? I'm going to be quite. There's no conservative joined yesterday. You know what I mean? No conservative joined reform. But yeah. I, as far as I'm concerned, like reform, I don't believe, and I'm not convinced, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't say reform are going to destroy the country, okay? if we vote for them. I'm not convinced of that, guys. I'm not there yet. I do know that they're going in a different direction, that are doing things very strangely, and I don't trust them as far as I can fool them. And everything's telling me all sorts of alarm bells are ringing, 110%. What I do think is I don't think they're going to do anything, and that's a big problem. That's a big problem. That's my problem. My problem isn't what they're going to do; it's what they don't do. And it's no more than that. And yeah, yeah, the main policies aren't being addressed, and it's concerning for my wee lucky and concerning for me because I don't think, I don't know, like, I worry. I wait and see, what I mean, how the next couple of years goes with Scotland and Northern Ireland and Ireland, you know. Um, England, England won't cope after another 8 years, like, to be honest with you, I really don't think so, like, more people will leave and stuff like that, and it'll just be communities will just grow and grow and grow. Um, I imagine going down the line, the child cap, like only 2 children, and if you can only have 2 children for child benefit. Any more than 2 children, you've got to pay for them yourselves more than less. But I imagine there's other schemes put in place. But yeah, I imagine that'll get taken away, that cap, and then that'll sort of be the hingy with the kids. You know what I mean? Everybody will just be having kids. And at the end of the day, why not? England's a nice country. You know what I mean? If quite, this is the way the left look at it. At the end of the day, it's a really nice country. Why can't these people come and settle down and have children there? And at the end of the day, if that's what happens, that's what happens. You know what I mean? It will get to a stage where it will be irreversible, and you will see England change as a country with it 110%. You know what I mean? That isn't even up for argument. Nobody can argue with that. But 8 years time, I really do think that the way the numbers are, going, you know, it's not too hard to work it out. You know what I mean? They're really going up, and the way things are going politically in Great Britain right now, guys, you know, people will be coming in their droves to get here before, in case there is another, because a lot of people think once you're here, you're here. Once you're here, you're here, and like they've seen with America, with the border getting shut, people will be thinking the border's going to get shut soon. And that's going to like double the amount of people that are coming just because we're talking about this. You understand? So yeah, it's quite concerning. The amount of numbers that are going to come in the next 3.5, 4 years, whatever is left of Labour, if they get that far. But that's quite concerning on its own. And then we have reform coming in, and we now know their policies towards this particular problem. You know, so that's another 4 years. You know what I mean? Of um, probably having a go at shutting the border, but being stuck with all sorts of legislation and high court stuff and Supreme Courts and human rights court stuff, and reform won't be able to handle it, and they'll just crumble and just go, you know what, we're just gonna ride this out for the next 4 years and let whoever wants take it. That's the way it will go. I've always said that. You know, um, I've always said Labour since I started my channel. Labour are finished. I've always said that, and like Sinn Féin are finished. Um, and reform will be the next party. But like we know now, they've been hijacked. They've been hijacked and taken over. You're doing what you're told. Where do you think you're going, Mr. Farage? Come here. When M1 something happened a wee while ago, like, and that's what's happened. There's no two ways about it. A lot of people say he doesn't have the fight left and all that, and he hasn't got the heart. I could have told you that ages ago, man. I really could have told you that ages ago. You know what I mean? Like, he's got a milkshake thrown over him, and it really did get to him. You know what I mean? Could you imagine if he was Tommy Robinson? You know what I mean? The amount of beatings Tommy's taken. So yeah, we understand that he's not really the man for the fight, and yeah, we also understand we need a strong man for the fight. You know what I mean? And the strongest men out there right now are Homeland, ADF, UKIP. They've all got really great men in them, and I do see a day when they'll all come together. I really do. Like, I can't see any patriot in this country um going, oh no, we're not going to join up with you and let our country fall. I really can't. Honestly, I really can't. And the whole point of social media and that right now, I think, with Patriots is to try and keep that going, try and keep that rhetoric going. No fallouts. Keep it. Stop the bickering and all that. No online videos about each other and all that nonsense. You know what I mean? That's what the left do. We need to go forward very cautiously. And when you see people falling out with Patriots, man, you've got to say to them, like, that's not benefiting me lucky at all. That, you know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. That's not benefiting my daughter, you know? Um, so a lot of people that are coming in and you're saying that, no, that's not benefiting me lucky. Then you can bet your bottom dollar they're left wing agitators that are in with us to make sure that reform get in. That's the way I look at it. We will get to days when there won't be patriots in reform and it will be full of the left wing, you know. And I'll say as this as well, when the final people come away, the people that aren't bots right now that are going online and pushing for reform, they will leave eventually and we will still be there for them, and this isn't our thing, you can't fall out with people just because they don't understand what's going on and they just think Nigel Farage is the man, you know. When they say to me, if anybody says to me about Tommy or anybody else, or they say like, "Oh, he just thinks Tommy's a man," there's no getting through to him. Can explain that to me, because I can explain to you why I think Tommy's a man. Explain to me why you think Nigel Farage is a man. Show me what Nigel Farage has done. That's gonna be. That's gonna show me bravery going forward. Because like I keep on saying, he's gonna take a special kind of man to go forward in politics in Great Britain. There's no two ways about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nigel Farage, I don't know if Nigel Farage knew what he was getting into or not. I don't know. It looks to me like he didn't. He's in over his head, and I feel sorry for him. I do. I fucking do feel sorry for him, guys. You've got to understand, as a human being, he's still a human being. You know what I mean? And he's taking a lot of flack right now. Private messages getting put out and everything. That's not right. I understand this is the politics of Britain, but at the same time, he's still got to take all that. And I know quite a lot of these have just had enough of him, but you know, I just think he's out of his depth, guys. That's all. I think it's overwhelming. You got to understand what it must be like for him. Can you imagine being in his shoes? Who is in his ear? The threats, the innuendos. Honestly, guys, it's a brutal, brutal, brutal world out there, especially at the top of politics. And it's that brutal that I do worry. All commentators worry. You won't get many people talking the way I'm talking because they worry. They don't want anything to happen to them, their family, or their businesses, or their YouTube channel. I fucking totally get that. Totally get it. Don't knock anybody for not covering the issues, because these are the main issues in our country. These are like, if you ask anybody in the street that knows their salt, worth their salt, that knows politics and knows the crack, and you say to them, what's the most concerning thing in politics right now? They'll all say to you that we have no control. Somebody else is controlling it. And that's the biggest thing that we've got. And because we can't really prove it, and all we've got is the evidence of Stammer standing there like a robot reading word from word of a bit of paper that he's just been handed, on all these tweets going out all at once, all exactly the same. That's all we've got, really, you know what I mean? And other bits and pieces, and we see that, like, no sooner was he elected, who did he invite in? Before, quite a lot of world leaders, Harry Fink, Gates, the richest men in the world, coming, like, coming to meet our. It doesn't. It's. You understand how wrong that is? Can you really understand how wrong that is? It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. But yeah, that's the world we live in, guys. That's the world we live in. So yeah, we got plenty to talk about tonight. We 24 hour Saturday in it. You know what I mean? You'll get this when you wake up. What else? Is there anything else? I'm probably missing something because, like, I'm just blown away with what I'm seeing online right now. With the reform bots and stuff, it's quite remarkable. It is quite nuts. It's just one after the other. I was scrolling through and it was just like all these positive things for reform. You know what I mean? And I'm looking at all the comments. And I'm like, fucking, this isn't right. You know what I mean? Because, like, the comments tell you everything. The comments tell you everything, guys. Um, You know, in any social media platform, not just X, anywhere you go, just look at the comments, and that's what the people think. You know, doesn't matter what that person or that bot's trying to tell the people. The people are telling them back, no, you're wrong. You know what I mean? So it's very strange, very strange. Quite, and that's just I've explained to you why it is the direction we're going in with the internet, and you know, there's a train going, and I don't think some of us are on it. You know, and yes, it's concerning, but it is what it is. This is the future. You know what I mean? This is the future of Great Britain. It's the future of politics, and it's the future of social media. You know, without a doubt. Um, I'm going on about my lucky being on a platform and doing this and being political, but now I'm starting to think she'll probably never have a voice. So who knows? Maybe it is time to go away. All my love. God bless.